You are sentenced to death and the judge lets you pick whatever you want as your execution method. What do you pick? That damn snail. Finally caught up to you. Except it was the decoy snail. That damn smart snail took off his tracker. Here's another snail. I added a bow tie. Anesthesia overdose. That'll definitely be my second, behind smothered by snoo snoo. Death by snoo snoo. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised. Can't we just cuddle? Hashtag it time snoo snoo. Oxygen displacement via nitrogen. Just peacefully drift off into the wub-wubs. Death by being shot on a rocket into the sun. Just to make it as expensive and difficult as possible for everyone involved. A nice slow overdose on morphine. This is what I came for. Let me out on some sorta of opiate please. Dilaudid would be my choice. Was almost worth having excruciating pain to feel that sweet relief. I had acute pancreatitis several years ago. It was the kind of pain that made you wonder how much it hurt to die. Just non-stop agony. I was in the about to get admitted sitting in a wheelchair when the nurse said I'm going to give you something for the pain. I had no idea there was anything so magical as to instantly be 100% pain-free. I also didn't know projectile vomiting was a real thing. When my wife was in labor, she was in so much pain I thought her head was going to spin around like the girl in The Exorcist. She was crying and writhing in agony in her hospital bed, and the nurse offered her some pain relief which she very happily accepted. She got a shot of Dilaudid in her fore and her face just melted immediately. She was sitting in a fog for a minute when she turned to me and said, "I still feel everything, I just don't care," and she started giggling. I laughed out loud at this. I want the jury to beat me to death with their own bare hands. I have done nothing worthy of being sentenced to death, so if I must go out, I'm going to make those who put me in this situation never forget what they did. I like this one. It'll hurt, but the spite is going to scar every one of those jury members. Shoot me into space on a trip to Mars, for science of course. Mars becomes the new Australia? Surgically implant a small explosive in my head, then give someone else the detonator and explicit instructions to wait for good comedic timing. God, this headache is terrible. Hold on, I have to sneeze. Hey, can you crack my back? Oh, that feels bet. Alright class, gather around teacher for a group hug. Man with the detonator leaves you hanging. You hold the hug until everyone is uncomfortable. As soon as everyone separates and returns to their seats, you explode all over them. You explode all over them. I loved it when Explodius said it's exploding time and exploded all over those guys. Dying of old age. So next 70 years in prison, where you then die of old age. You should be specific. If it's a Norwegian prison, it'll be fine. Better than the apartment I'm renting. Very true, you and Al Prolapskisser. Nuke me. So are you going to do a funny pose when it happens for your shadow? A jack-off motion or perhaps a simple middle finger? Medium.com. I think it was Monty Python's Meaning of Life where the guy gets chased off a cliff by naked women. Yeah, that sounds fine. NSFW, Vimeo.com. Tossed into the black hole at the center of our galaxy. Only to find you survived the event horizon, and wake up in a cart with a dude saying, "Hey, you're finally awake." Got to thinking, maybe I'm the horizon born, and I just don't know it yet. The best method I've ever heard was from a TV show, Terry's Only One Way to Kill a Man Humanely. You tell him he's free to go and all charges are dropped. You wait till you see the hope blossom in his eyes. Then you shoot him through the back of the head. He dies happy. Why wouldn't he? He's a free man after all? Okay, but if you pick that as your own method of execution, then it doesn't really work, does it? My preferred method of execution is in my home, of old age. Damn, you got us, you're free to go. Pops one on the back of his head. Death by Snoo Snoo Edit, thanks for the awards. Realistically put me to sleep with anesthesia or whatever it's called, then shoot me in the head. Quick and painless unrealistically suffocate with buba. Anesthesia followed by a single gunshot to the back of the head if the prisoner consents to organ donation or the heart is actually used as the method of execution in Taiwan. For real? That's strangely humane. It's true. Euthanasia roller coaster with 23 of my closest familiars. If you need any more people to reach 24, I like roller coasters. And death. Edit. Before anyone else sends the Reddit care bot my way, read this. https www.reddit.com AskReddit comments 7t6d2 uary sentence tod ethanthi judgeletsioux 5 zoi? Yud medium android apit source sherry context 3 I'm a stubborn jerk. If my depression wants to kill me, it has to do it without my help. I'm not killing myself out of spite. Strapped to a missile, shot into air, and blown up by a laser cannon. Laser cannon death sentence. Die. In my own bed, at the age of 80, with a belly full of wine and a girl's mouth around my cock, Tyrion Lannister. I always think, that poor girl lol. Imagine the horror when she realizes she has a mouthful of dead dick. Oh no, not again. Let me give my pets away before shooting me in my sleep. Yea, I have no fear of dying, but I have the fear of dying without sorting out my pet's welfare. Edit. To those saying yes they will eat when you die, I guess in my death I will finally be happy that they are such picky eaters. I have it in my will who takes care of them, obviously agreed beforehand. Also, it is stated they must see my body in an open casket so they know I did not abandon them. I recently read, I think on rabbits, that if one of a pair of rabbits dies you should let the other see their body so they understand their friend isn't coming back. Honestly made me tear up. Death by a sharply licked candy cane. Now that's spearmint. Titty smothering edit, thank you for the concern, but am not currently at risk of harming myself or others via the method above, or any method for that matter. Ike, it's all fun and games until you start to panic because you can't breathe, or at least that's what the last guy I did that to did. I don't think anyone would have died from it. If they did, it would be sad. Imagine a boner coming down slowly to down permanently. Then back up due to rigor mortis. Why do I think this is a how should I kill myself? Question? It's not, but I appreciate the concern. Shot in the forehead with a 50 calories while high as duck on opioids. I'd rather get shot in the back of the head so I had no way of seeing exactly when it was coming. The opioids are a nice touch. Salma Hayek. Okay fine. Salma Hayek shoots you with a gun. I want as many fireworks shoved up my ass possible and ignited at the exact moment I drive off a huge cliff in an 18-wheeler semi also filled to the brim with fireworks. Also to be filmed for the newest Jackass movie. I will loop piano wire around my neck and secure it to a hard point. Then I will super glue my hands to the sides of my head and jump out the window. When I hit the ground my head will be severed but attached to my hands and it will look like I ripped my own head off. A steadily increasing propofol drip. Now it's time to go to sleep. Permanently asleep. I've got a guy being hung and eviscerated tattooed on my back so I feel like I've kind of painted myself into a corner here. No, you've needled yourself into a corner. Are you poking fun at a dying man? Don't pin that on him.